Hello, this is a short video about my tourniquet, and you might be wondering why would anyone want to have a tourniquet around. Now let's say if you work with heavy machinery or you are into firearms, accidents do happen and it's good to be prepared. So tourniquets will save your life if you are having a massive bleeding, in most of the cases anyhow. Now this is SOF tactical tourniquet by Tactical Medical Solutions, and I've been practicing with a couple of different tourniquets, and I would say that this is probably the best, at least I think so. Costs something like 30 to 35 euros. It's a little bit more expensive than some of the competitors, but it comes with this kind of neat little pouch. Now the pouches come at least in black and olive green, and as I live in Finland I took the olive green one. Now it's a quite nice little pouch. There is mole loops on the back, so you can easily attach this to your gear. There's a little drain hole on the bottom. I believe this is mostly watertight material made out of some kind of cordura, and there is a plastic buckle in the front. Now I would say that quite easy to use product. Of course, these kind of products should be and have to be really easy. Now if I have to compare this to, let's say, I would say the cat, that it might be the industry standard currently. Now the cat has velcro, and velcro is quite nice, but if you have to work in a very dirty environment and you have to crawl around and you are in a forest, you can quite easily get the velcro in such conditions that it doesn't really stick anymore. And also in a cat and a couple of competitors there are all kinds of buckles, and depending on what kind of situation you are, your procedure of using this tourniquet or that tourniquet would be different from one situation to the another. Now this only has one way of operating this, so it makes it really simple to use, and even if you haven't practiced, let's say in a year, you still know exactly what to do. Now some people might be wondering that why is the strap so narrow. I believe there is also a version available where the strap is a little bit wider. Now if I remember it correctly, like cat is as wide as this section all the way through, but I took the narrow one because I would say that it might be a little bit more effective. I have absolutely no scientific proof that it might be so, but anyhow. So how this works is that we have the tightening mechanism here that is, I believe it's made out of aluminum or some kind of metal, and there's a little bit play, so you can easily have it into these loops for locking. Now we have here a metal buckle, and this is why I like this quite a lot. So it's spring loaded, so you can easily have this loosened or tightened, and there's also this locking screw, which is quite important. Let's say if you have to then move the victim of who has had the accident, and you don't accidentally want to release this buckle, so you can screw this all the way down, and it will prevent that you don't accidentally release the buckle. Of course, without, even if you would take off this screw, this would work and would tighten. So this is only a safety measure, so you don't accidentally release it by applying pressure here. So quite simple design, and I would say that quite easy to use. And of course, well, I'm not going to show how these will work because they are not toys that you can just play around with, because there's a serious risk of nerve and blood circulation damage. So, but anyhow, the major operation would be that you would have this around, let's say, your arm or your leg or whatever, and then you would just turn this around and lock it onto one of these loops or D-rings or whatever, and one is quite sufficient. So even if you have it only from the one end, it is sufficiently still working. Of course, you may try to have them both in this kind of setup, but it's not really necessary. So it's a quite good product, and if you are working with heavy machinery or with firearms, or if you are really accident prone, I would really recommend that you would get some kind of tourniquet. It can really save your life or your best friend's life or your co-worker's life in a nasty situation.